to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Neff.
I'm Eric Colley.
Eric, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone, you have to go check out Eric's podcast. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
It's called Get to the Hook. Charles and I host that. It's a music podcast covering all eras, all genres, a lot of fun facts, a lot of making fun of Charles. So
I love that. I'm
times.
in. Well, thank you for joining us today. Charlie Cotton is out. We got a lot of topics to go over. We're going to be starting with Zac Efron. We got all the details about this mysterious swimming pool incident, and now we know exactly what happened, and we'll tell you all about that. Kamala Harris announced her VP candidate, and I think people were kind of like, this was a wild card. People immediately had to go to Google and be like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
So we'll tell you a little bit about him. Some Paris Olympics drama. Serena Williams is calling out a hotel over allegedly denying her entry, which the hotel has responded, and you got to hear what they say. And then also Janet Jackson, big news. Eric,
I'm excited about this.
You love
of course,
this.
I love Janet.
She is finalizing a Vegas residency for this winter, and ooh, I can't wait. And then lastly, we will talk about Paris and Nicole Richie. They are back together.
You were glowing talking about
I
this.
know.
This is like your dream come true.
You know what? The Simple Life, that was an era, and that was my time to shine. And they're back. Yep. All right, starting off first, Zac Efron. This is crazy. So we broke a story over the weekend that on late Friday night / early morning, there was some kind of swimming pool incident, which at the time his team kind of chalked it up to just a minor swimming incident.
But he was hospitalized.
He was hospitalized. They said it was for a precautionary measure. However, we spoke to some people that were there and knew that he had to be pulled out of the water by 2 employees that were there at this villa he was staying at. This is all in Ibiza. So now we got a little bit more information as to what had happened. So a rep for Zac is telling us that he went for a swim with his friends early morning on Saturday in Ibiza at his villa when he decided to take a dive. So he dove into the pool. Apparently, he hit his chest.
Yeah, not his head. I thought maybe it hit his head.
I thought so too. But he hit his chest, and during that impact moment, he apparently ingested a ton of water into his lungs. And he showed some kind of signs of discomfort and distress. So at that time, 2 employees did jump into the pool, pulled him out of the water like we reported. And apparently he was kind of showing like he was going like in and out of consciousness, and even he wasn't like responsive really.
Right. It kind of makes sense because you've had the wind knocked out of you before. You know that feeling when like you're just like
Uh,
the air sucks up. But imagine
yes.
that happening in a pool. So the wind's knocked out of
Yeah.
you, and then when you try and breathe, you're sucking in water.
Oof.
I mean, that's terrible. I'm surprised. Not that we need to know. He doesn't owe everybody his medical history or anything like
Right.
that. But it's all the speculation about this for like the last 3-4 days. This seems like it does seem like a minor incident. I mean, scary, but
scary
not
for
a big
sure.
deal.
Mhm.
Why not just say that?
Yeah, I know. And when you don't reveal exactly what happened, people are going to come up with their own assumptions.
And people have.
People have, and we've seen him partying in Mykonos, Ibiza, Paris. He's been like on this European like awesome trip. He was with a DJ just like a week ago on stage. So it looks like from afar he's partying right now. So of course that's going to lead you
People's
to think
assumptions.
different things, right? But by the way, the rep did say he went to the hospital after this. And just as a precautionary measure, he got a chest x-ray on his lungs to make sure all the water was out. And it was. And so then he was released a few hours later.
It seems like he's fine. I'm in my head, trying to picture how do you dive into a pool? Like I said,
And
we
hit
both.
your chest?
I assumed he hit his head, which is much more frightening.
Right.
How do you dive? Was he diving in and trying to like arc back up and slammed his chest?
Oh, I could see that. Maybe the pool was. Yeah, maybe the
like
pool
a belly
was,
flop.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the mechanics of it, but yeah,
Right.
it seems terrifying. Like just suck in water and in distress. That seems right now the way they described it.
Right. I think anything like under the water is kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and he has posted some photos from Ibiza, like working out, and we are told he has since left Ibiza and he's now back in the U.S., back at his home, and he's happy, healthy.
Just cannonballing from now on.
Right? Yeah,
Hit your tailbone. It's all right. Don't hit your chest.
Oh, so cute. Okay, so all right, moving on. Kamala Harris, big news this morning. She picked Tom Walz as her VP.
Tim Walz.
Tim Walz. See, oh
That's
my
how
God.
much of a household name he is. To most people.
Exactly. I think a lot of people were not expecting this guy. I didn't know who he was. We've done some research.
The governor of Minnesota. So
Governor of Minnesota. So I think a lot of people maybe
people in
did
Minnesota
know.
do know. He's a two-term governor there.
Yeah, at least over here, maybe not as much.
Yeah, his name's been floated, but I think a lot of people thought she was going to go with Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania.
1,000%.
Or maybe Mark Kelly from Arizona, Pete Buttigieg. Tim Walz's name has been in the running this whole time, but I don't think people thought she was going to go that way.
Yeah. But, it could help with swing states. He's very popular in the Midwest, so that could be, an advantage. Also, I love the fact there was like a little fun fact about him that he got like all the schools free lunches
free
for
lunches
the kids.
for all
I
the
love
kids.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people were saying because of all the people she was looking at, some were a bit more moderate,
Yeah.
and they thought maybe she'll try and do that to appeal to undecided or swing voters. Tim Walz is much more progressive. He's about trans rights
Right.
and all these kind of things.
He called Trump and JD Vance weird.
Yeah, that started that whole trend.
Yeah.
The hashtag weird, which also will be interesting to see JD Vance and Tim Walz at the VP debates.
Right.
Because
Right.
Tim Walz has kids. So
He has kids, so he's.
JD Vance can't call him a crazy cat lady.
Yeah. Well, I do want to know, do they have cats? I
don't
want to know
know.
that.
If he doesn't, he should get some right now.
Yes, he should.
And he will adopt, not shop, I'm sure. Because
Oh, I love that. Meow. Okay, moving on. Serena Williams had some drama in Paris. Obviously, one of the most famous athletes in the world. She says that she went to the Peninsula Paris and she posted on social media saying, "Yikes, I've been denied access to rooftop to eat in an empty restaurant of a nicer places, but never with my kids, always a first." So basically she's saying that she was denied access even though there was open tables, which I've definitely experienced that before, and where it's like, oh, there's a 2-hour wait,
Yeah.
and you're looking, you
You're
see
like,
empty tables,
just
you're
put me
like,
right there.
yeah, I can just go sit right there. But then they'll say, oh, that's reserved or whatever. So they have responded back now saying, "Dear Mrs. Williams, please accept our deepest apologies for the disappointment you encountered tonight. Unfortunately, our rooftop bar was indeed fully booked, and the only unoccupied tables you saw belonged to our gourmet restaurant." Not even going to try to pronounce
L'Oiseau
it.
Blanc.
Yes.
4 years of high school French right there.
Wow, great job,
Yeah,
Eric. Which was fully reserved. And they said that they're, always open to having her back. But yeah, this kind of took Twitter by storm because people thought how do you deny Serena Williams? They thought maybe there was a racial component there.
Right.
Paris has, some history or some
Everywhere does.
stereotypes. Yes, yes. But they're saying look, we were fully booked. What did you want us to do, kind of thing.
Yeah, and if they were fully reserved,
Yeah.
if somebody shows up for the reservation, oh, well, we gave your reservation away because someone famous is here, that's not a good look for them either.
Yeah,
no matter how famous she is.
Yeah. But also, I do think even though she's the best in the world, when it comes to tennis, I do think you also can't expect to get whatever you want because you're a celebrity.
It's the do you know who I am kind of thing.
Exactly.
It's I do know who you are.
Yeah.
But these people have a reservation.
Right. But, in her defense, she did think maybe they were denying her she saw open tables.
Right.
Maybe there was something else there.
And assuming what they're saying is true, that is sort of the danger of rushing to social media to shame places.
Right.
Because in her mind she's offended, oh, you just aren't letting me in. You have open tables, but that's not the situation. So
yeah. I'm sure not too many people tell Serena Williams no as
I'm
well.
sure she
so
does not hear that
must be
often.
a little hard to hear.
And she's with her kids, mom with
Right.
young kids. You just want to get a table and get these kids calmed down, give them their iPads. But
Yeah. I looked at the menu. I don't know that it's necessarily kid friendly. It's roasted eggplant.
yeah,
And, just all these fancy things.
but her kids aren't normal kids. They've probably grown up with the fanciest of fancy in their lives.
That's
so.
true. That's true. And it's flan for torta flan for desserts. I'm just I can't imagine being a little kid and be like, "Mommy, I want the flan."
Yeah, you're where are the chicken fingers?
Yeah. right. Give me the kids' pizza.
Give me the macaroni. That's what I want. Give me the kids menu.
Yeah. In other Olympic news, Simone Biles was slammed by an NFL player for bowing to another athlete. So if you remember, Simone and Jordan Childs, they both got injured / didn't win their competition, one of the many competitions. And Rebecca Andrade, she totally nailed it. And then the girls in that moment bowed to her to be great work.
Good sportsmanship.
Yep. Well, she's getting a lot of backlash for this. And there's a guy named Marlon Humphrey. He's an NFL player. He said, "This is literally disgusting." And Simone defended herself. Here's what she had to say.
Rebecca Andranci, when she won gold and you and Jordan both bowed down and the Louvre said, hang this image in the Louvre. Girl, that's amazing. And that you were sending a big message then, weren't you?
Yes, and I think it's all about sportsmanship, and we don't care whether we win or lose. We're always going to keep a good face and support our competitors because they've worked just as hard as we have for that moment. So you have to give them their flowers, and that's exactly what me and Jordan were doing, and we were so happy for her. She deserved it. She had the best floor routine of that day and of the Olympics. So it's like, yeah, she deserved it.
I don't have a problem with this.
No. But I think as competitive as the Olympics are, obviously you have to be the best in the world at what you do to even get there.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe than like the NFL, where you're trying to destroy the other person specifically. I think the Olympics, a lot of the times, you're just competing with yourself to be the best you can be.
Yes.
And if you think someone did better and genuinely did better, then you can appreciate that.
Yep.
Football, no. It's
Right.
You aren't going to see NFL teams bowing to each other at the end of a game.
Totally.
But-
And that's more of like a team sport. And like you said, this is more like your individual self. And there's no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah.
But also you can praise other people at the same time.
You also know if you're there, even if, you don't want to finish third or second, but even if you're on that stage, you've got to be better than 99% of the rest of the world to even get there. So,
Ugh. And they were talking about how much pressure there is there. I can't imagine. I mean, I've been to like cheer competition.
so you know what she's feeling.
I kind of got a little taste, and wow, it is like just the crowd roaring, like all these things that you don't think of when you're actually like practicing for whatever your competition you're about to do. Wow, it like takes on a whole other level. You have all this adrenaline, and then also like, for when I was on cheer, I would have to do like back handsprings. When you have all that adrenaline and you're doing a back handspring, you have a lot more momentum than you had originally practiced. So, I mean, these girls are like way more professional than
Better
me,
than your
but,
cheer camp?
Yeah.
Your competition?
I saw something too. By the way, because of all the Olympics and people watching, there's now like a spike in injuries at the hospital.
Of course, because dum-dums in their backyard trying to be like, I can be a shot putter and a pole vaulter and a gymnast, and I can do the pommel horse. And
they're saying that people are like trying to like revisit something, like as if I was gonna try to do another back handspring right now at my ripe age of 37.
People in their glory days.
Yep. But also people are just doing it for social media and then getting injured. But yeah, no.
So you're not going to do some back handsprings for
no
for
back
TikTok?
handspring for me.
Oh.
Though maybe I'll ask Tawanda a little bit later to spot me. Moving on.
Spot you and dial 911. Get ready.
Yeah, 911.
Just tell me when.
Exciting news in the music industry. Janet Jackson is finalizing her Vegas residency for this winter. This is exciting. Eric, tell me, like, are you a Janet fan?
I love Janet Jackson, and it's so weird to me. Partly, she got canceled after the Super Bowl thing 20 years ago, which is so dumb and had nothing to do with her. I think younger generations now don't realize just how gigantic Janet Jackson is.
Oh, man, massive.
She's got the hits. She still can dance. I love Janet Jackson.
Amazing. I love her, too. I love that music video that she did with her brother, Michael.
Scream.
That was great. I loved that. I loved seeing them together.
We talked to Jimmy Jam about that on our podcast.
Oh, right.
Right.
Guys, better go check that out.
That was a good episode.
So our sources are saying that she's set to ring in the new year with a special New Year's Eve performance at Resorts World. The residency is going to be at Resorts World. But interesting because you know who we were also told that is getting a residency at Resorts World? Celine Dion.
That is huge.
They're going to have some bangers up in there.
But I imagine, there might be nights where Celine just can't perform.
Right.
Because I would say she, with her condition, her stiff person syndrome, she doesn't really know until the moment of.
Right.
Because it could just flare up at any time. I think if you buy tickets to Celine, you have to know that it could be canceled last second.
Yeah.
And you just have to know that.
You got to be quick to get on the Janet
ticket
page instead. All right, no Celine, but we're doing Janet.
That would be cool if Janet was like, oh, if you buy Celine tickets, I will honor them at my show.
I love that.
I don't know if she could do that.
Janet, if you're watching right now, tips from Eric.
Yeah, okay? She needs my advice. She really does, sure.
All right, well, that'll be exciting. Moving on to our almost news. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are filming the Simple Life reboot at Sonic, which is kind of funny because I didn't really like grow up with Sonic, but I know it's like
they're not really around Southern California.
Yeah, but they do have one in Duarte, which actually is 2 cities down from where I grew up in Glendora. So it's like so funny to see them in the San Gabriel Valley. But they were there wearing some like super cute uniforms, filming, and Nicole even put on like this big hot dog suit for laughs. I mean, these two girls are just gold.
I don't know how
together.
much actual work they did at Sonic because one, they're both in high heels, and you don't want to work a full shift in high heels.
Oh,
And,
no.
Paris has got her like blinged out, sparkly little purse, and from what we saw, it looked like a lot of photo shoots.
Yeah.
Not so much
Right.
working, but the Simple Life reboot, it's not going to be called the Simple Life, right?
Right. And I don't know why, but I think maybe there might be some kind of like copyright issue in the past
Maybe.
using the title The Simple
'Cause
Life.
somebody else might own that. certainly.
Totally. But they are doing something together. Obviously, we're seeing it for the first time. But I just think whatever they do, it's going to be so good. My generation, we are loving all these reboots. I
Yeah,
mean, Simple
it's-
Life, Freaky Friday.
It's the
been
Y2K
filming.
nostalgia right now.
Ugh,
Gen
it's
Z is all
so
into it.
good.
So
I know. I'm loving it.
you're reliving your glory days.
Eric, I
Back
sure am.
handsprings and the Simple Life, you
Yep,
are on top.
and I posted an old clip of me from MTV's Date My Mom.
Oh, I saw that.
Yep, from 2006, and it's got like almost 10 million views.
Wow.
So people are living for the comebacks right now, including myself. I wish I still looked like that though. But all right, today in history.
All right, I love this.
Eric, here we go. Okay, today is National Wiggle Your Toes Day.
Every time you say that, I wiggle my toes.
I'm
It's not even
wiggling
a conscious thing.
my little piggies too.
Yeah, you can't not do it.
You know what? They actually say it's good for circulation. Like you're in shoes all day, kind of restricted, and you don't really think about like your feet. So it's good to like kind of move your little toes around, move your ankles around. It's
Like
good
when
for
you're on a long
circulation.
flight, you know, they tell you like,
Yeah,
just like
exactly,
rock your ankles
exactly.
around.
Yep,
right?
yep. And then today in 1806, we're going like way back here, the Roman Empire officially came to an end.
1806. You'd think it'd
Yep.
be way before that.
I
but
know, but they were like a thing for like what, 1,000 years?
A long time.
So they
Remember
had
the
a
whole
pretty good
thing
run.
about like guys think about the Roman Empire like once a day?
Do you think about it?
No, I was really
Really?
surprised by that.
Oh, I asked my husband, and he was like, every moment of my life. And I'm like, what the hell? Like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, okay.
Like aqueducts? Like what are you thinking about?
Yeah, I have no idea. I will say, like, from all my travels, and you've traveled a lot too, it's crazy to see like some of these buildings or like aqueducts, like you
Yeah.
said, that are still standing from the Roman Empire days. But like over here in LA, one rain and there's like potholes galore. Like we can't keep it together.
I know.
We got to.
There will be no Colosseum like 1,000 years from now from LA.
No, there will not.
there won't be.
SoFi will be dust
It
by
will
that
be.
time. Okay, and then this day in 1945, this is actually kind of sad. An American bomber dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima.
Which was basically the end of World War II.
Yep. So could be good, could be bad, depending on how you look at it. Did you watch that movie Oppenheimer?
I did.
You know, I didn't see it. I heard it was a little long.
It's a
and
little long.
kind of heavy.
It is. I don't know if you would enjoy it.
Yeah. Did
Did
you
you remember
like,
it came out the same weekend as Barbie, and I know what you were
right.
seeing.
Oh,
so-
definitely same Barbie. Yep. Did you think it was better than Barbie because it won the Oscar that year?
I mean, I guess it's like a drama and stuff. It's better, but I enjoyed Barbie more.
Okay.
I just saw it
fair.
again. Actually, I saw it this weekend at the Bowl. My niece was in town. She just graduated high
Oh.
school, and they were showing Barbie with an all-female orchestra doing the
Ooh,
score.
No way. I love
So I took her to see
that.
that. It was really fun. They had the fireworks going. It was really
Oh,
cool.
was
Yeah.
it all pink fireworks?
Everything was pink.
Oh, I
Everyone
love
was
it.
wearing pink.
Were you wearing pink?
No, I didn't even think about it. I was like, I'm
Eric.
going to the bowl. And then we got there. I was like, I should have worn something. but,
Oh, I
yeah.
love that. That's so sweet of you to take her to that.
Yeah, she really loved it.
Barbie girl living in a Barbie world. All right, and then some birthdays today. Andy Warhol, Lucille Ball, who
And-
is one of my idols.
But not as much as the next person.
Jerry Halliwell, a.k.a. Ginger Spice. You know, I love Ginger Spice, but I always was a baby girl.
That tracks.
Yes.
That
yes.
tracks.
But it kind of sucks because in my friend group, there was another blonde in my friend group. So
Only
we were
one?
both- I know. I know.
No, I don't believe that.
Well, the other girls were like, I want to be posh, I want to be sport, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like me and her were always baby, and I was always like low key jealous because I'm like, why can't I be the only baby?
Did you try and find like a redhead just to be Ginger?
Yeah, actually, our friend, she sprayed her hair red because she was so obsessed and did like the blonde in the front. Iconic era.
Yeah.
That's the comeback we need right now.
The
for
Spice Girls.
Y2K comeback.
This is their moment.
This is their moment, my God. Come on, Victoria. Get in on it.
What else is she doing?
I know, fashion.
Gardening in heels or whatever it is they're doing? Come on.
Yeah. All right. Well, Eric, thank you so much for joining us today.
Always fun to be here. Thank you.
Always fun for you to be on board. And guys, we'll catch you tomorrow.